Hey guys, it is Sunday morning. Getting on the bike and I'm heading out to see some more Doors Open Toronto stuff. Riding down Palmerston, heading towards the Bathurst and Queens Quay dock area. Yeah, went over to Portland and gonna take this pedestrian bridge over. This has been a pretty nice infrastructure stuff. They've added the bike lane south of that bridge that goes all the way down to the lake, which is pretty good. I haven't used this a ton, but it's good to know it's here. And I was seeing posts about the Bentway stuff going on down here, like they painted these bents and they've added new lighting down here. It didn't really seem that impressive as I'm biking past it, but whatever. Anyways, we're getting pretty close to our first stop for the Doors Open trip. This is Ireland Park, right surrounding this big old malting silo that is apparently too expensive to get rid of and has been named like a heritage site, which seems a bit odd, but whatever, I guess. And just behind that big pile of stone is our first building that we're checking out, the Coreleck building. This is an Irish heritage building now, I guess. I'm trying to find a good spot to lock up my bike. Just along here. Kind of neat that they've got bike parking here with along the bollards, but be nice if it was like offset a bit more, so less risk of a car hitting your bike. But yeah, anyways. Going into the building, the Coreleck building. I came in and they were like right at the end of doing a tour. But apparently it wasn't a very big tour since they're doing cleaning and stuff anyway, so we couldn't really check out too much of the space, but here it is. I guess they're gonna do some Irish music and events and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, it was at the end of the tour. Anyways, there's plenty more stuff to check out, so I left. It's a big tree branch that got downed, I guess. It was pretty rainy yesterday and sometimes pretty stormy. We're gonna be checking out a bunch of stuff along the waterfront. Not going to the island. I just figured I'd do another easy day riding around. I did look at this the waterfront fire hall here. I kind of thought that this might be open, but I guess not this year. It has been in the past. I saw some Canadian geese. They're goslings. That's cute. And I guess even though it's not open, you can just kind of walk over here and get a pretty close look at the boats. And that's cool. You could come look at that anytime, I suppose. So now I'm going over to Reese Street and I'm gonna ride up and check out the Steamworks Brewing area. This is all around the Sky Dome and CN Tower kind of area. Yeah, it wasn't on the map, I don't think, but the CN Tower is actually kind of open for the public. You had to register for the tour and it apparently filled up like instantly, but they let you go down into the foundation and you can like look up through the center of the CN Tower, which is not something that they've ever really done before apparently. This is the only video that I can find of it. It's kind of not a great video, but you also go inside of like the radio tower dome thing, I guess, where the antennas are. That's supposed to like keep it safe from the bad weather during the winter, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, that's kind of what it would be like, I guess, if you sent someone who can like barely film a video and for the tour. But whatever. You know, I don't always film great either, I guess. So yeah, by the open air railway museum here. There's the Steamworks just in the back there. I was not seeing signs for doors open here, but on the map it says this was a spot. Kind of just seems like a restaurant in there, so I was just gonna move on to the next thing, but around the building there was more signs for doors open stuff. A free tour. Never been in here before. So I went upstairs and I talked to them. They said the next tour is going to be in like 50 minutes if I want to sign up for that. But I did not want to, so I'm just going to go. And apparently it's just like a kitchen area or something. They said if you want to see the actual brewing area, you have to pay for a guided tour that's happening later. And I don't want to pay, so I'm out of here. But I guess that's another neat spot that you can check out for yourself one day. Anyways, gonna keep on riding along the Martin Goodman Trail towards the Redpath Sugar Factory. This has been open occasionally throughout the doors open years. I think it was closed during the COVID times, but it's nice to see it open again. There's a huge lineup on the left, and that's for free cotton candy. Some years they've done free donuts, and I think I would prefer a donut to cotton candy. But anyways, the big draw is the sugar warehouse. You can go inside this big warehouse and see what it's like. And they've sectioned off a bigger section than the last time I was here. I guess it's been getting pretty popular. So you can really walk into the warehouse now. They've got their giant sugar pile over there. And some big tractors that they use to push the sugar around. This is like the raw sugar, right? So they tell you not to eat it, but you can eat it off the ground if you want to. Anyways, I think that roof opens up, and outside they have a big crane that like scoops the sugar off of this boat and into the warehouse. It's all kind of neat to see. If you ever come down here, you could probably see them doing it. Also bought a hat for $7 from their merch shop, which I kind of just was like, you know, it would be nice to have a Redpath hat as a doors open souvenir. Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah, they didn't always have this curtain up on the fence. I feel like they put that up so people wouldn't see that they could probably lose that space and expand the Martin Goodman Trail, because it gets pretty busy down here. But oh well. Anyways, continuing eastward. Here's a new condo that's recently been built, and over here they've like kind of redirected the trail. Hopefully they keep it so the bike lanes are closer to the traffic lanes and the sidewalk is like on the right. Because he had to do like a weird crisscross before, which is still kind of crisscrossed as I'm passing by Parliament, but you know, I just imagine this whole area is going to get a big redevelopment as Ookwemin Menacing Island gets you know, worked on here. There's going to be a whole new community on all sides of it seems. Which, that's where we're heading right now. Ookwemin Menacing Island. It's kind of a mouthful, but I'm getting a hang of it, I think. And it's kind of neat to embrace the more indigenous Canadian namings of things. You know, try to get some more Canadian culture going, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, over on my right, this section of the park is not open yet, and some of that will also get developed into condos. I'm pretty sure. I guess I don't really know, but looks like a lot of flooding going on in the construction areas. That's one of the goals is to make sure that this isn't like a floodplain thing. That's why they've been piling up dirt in certain areas to control the flooding. And yeah, here we have Bedasike Park. We have classic joggers. Refuse to be anywhere on the bike lane. Empty sidewalk. I gotta be jogging on the bike lane. But yeah, over here on the old Cherry Street, there's a thing. I don't know. I guess an old building that's just been converted to be an empty space, and it had lots of pictures of the Portlands and what the future island is gonna be like. Always like seeing a diorama, and in that green space, that's the current Lower Don River reconstruction, project. They redirected the river to be more natural. The revitalization project. Yeah, I like looking at some of these older pictures. You can see Union Station and the malting silos that we were just at, and some that have been removed. And of course the Redpath Sugar Factory, and down, and there's the old Cherry Street Bridge, which I forgot to check if it's still there. I don't think it ever looked like that when I have used it, so I guess the one in the picture is probably not there anymore, but yeah. Over here, people piling up some dirt, which pretty sure there's going to be buildings all throughout here. And yeah, going back onto the bike trail. Over here, this grassy area, this is going to be a streetcar track, and I hope that they keep it grassy and they just like lay the tracks on that, because that looks pretty nice how they have it in other parts of the world. And even there's sections of the Eglinton LRT that use it. It looks nice. Apparently it's good to reduce the sound of the trains, so hopefully it's grassy, because I think it also just looks nice. It's probably better for like rainwater management stuff too. Anyways, checking out old Fire Hall 30. This used to be a fire hall, and now it's been converted into a community center. A pretty small one, but you're gonna do like daycare or day camp type stuff in the park. And they had lots of pictures of the revitalization project along the walls. And an upstairs space that I guess is more of an event space or whatever. Again, not a very big building here, but seemed neat. There's the stairs going down and into the back of the building, or outside of the back. I wasn't sure what these doors were right away. I was kind of like, where's the washrooms? Because looking online what they were going to do with the space, it was like a lot of public washroom stuff going on. And only one of these doors was labeled as a washroom, the accessible washroom, which was kind of dirty in here. That's nasty. I don't love the accessible washrooms because of the electronic locks. Feel like they don't work half the time. And it's kind of hard to know, like, is this vacant or not? But there are like 4 other washrooms that do have nice locks. Yeah, made sure that, if someone was in here, I didn't want to film them. But I guess since these washrooms aren't clearly labeled, maybe they're a little bit cleaner. But they do have a nice visible lock that you can see from the outside. More public washrooms have to have that. Anyways, looking around at the park, this is like the Snowy Owl section. And the Jettleham Badlands looking at a spot. Yeah, it's a really nice park here. It's not on right now, but in the summer you can pump water out of these like faucets, I guess, and you like crank them and activate them. It's pretty cool stuff. You get your kids to learn about hydrodynamics and stuff. The Snowy Owl is looking nice. I think a lot of these trees are new. Like, I don't remember if they were planted and just like kind of really small last year or not, but I definitely remember them not having enough shade. But it's just nice to see more trees either growing in or being recently planted. Anyways, gonna keep on heading east. There's a little barbecue area set up over here, and this structure wasn't here last year, so that's kind of cool to look at. Hopefully that'll be more shade while the trees grow in again. There's some people talking about the area, the park. I think everyone who's involved with the project is pretty proud of it. And they probably should be, because it does look very nice riding through all of this. And going underneath Commissioner Street. I haven't really been over to this section of the park yet, where this is like a little fish pond, and underneath of this bridge it's apparently a bunch of bars that restrict the size of fish that can get in and out of that pond, so the large fish cannot go in and just eat all the small fish. Hopefully that works out, and not just to have a small fish grow into a really big fish that just is trapped in there. But yeah, the mouth of the Don River is like kind of huge now. I guess I didn't film it for very long, but it's a lot wider than I thought it would be. So I'm just looping back and over the Commissioner Street Bridge. I wanted to be on the other side of the Don River and go and look at like kind of the floodplain-ish area. Like, I don't know how familiar you are with the Don River project, but the Don River used to do like a 90-degree turn into the Keating Channel, and now it can go a little bit more south and has a more natural curve. But if there's a lot of water, it'll still want to just like go straight south. And they've kind of designed this, the Don Greenway, to be kind of a floodplain. This is supposed to get flooded, and since we've had so much rain, I was curious to see what this would look like. And since I haven't seen it before, I don't know if the water is higher than normal, but it does feel like it's pretty high. You can see it's like almost at where the pathways are. So I guess things are working. And yeah, the water line is over all the rocks. It's like into the more dirt section, which I don't think will always be like that, but just kind of cool. And from here it also can flow into that other body of water to the south of here that's still used for industrial stuff. Yeah, they had a tree bent over. I'm imagining they're gonna try to artificially make one of those like wind-swept trees that you can kind of sit on. So that's just kind of neat. This whole area, pretty cool. I can see this being a pretty nice place to live once everything's built out, which I'm sure is going to take another 10 years or so. But as it is now, I'm like, yeah, a nice park, nice bridges, nice river. It's all looking good. We've got a nice new Porsche dealership on Twoson Slip or Pier, whatever that street is. That's everything along the waterfront that I was thinking of looking at. Yeah, I guess there's not really much out here, so decided to go on to Uber Eats, see if I could get some deliveries going. I got some time to kill, so that's more or less it for the doors open stuff. Yeah, did ride north, and I believe this is the Anishnawbe Health Hospital. It was a new thing that was only open on Saturday, so I didn't go in there, but it's nice from the outside. And I did get an Uber request for Mandy's. Yeah. This building is always crazy when I go by it, because I just remember this spot being a parking lot, but now it's a huge building. It's got its own little neighborhood vibe going with it. I dropped that stuff off and then picked up from Souk Taboo. And this was going back down south of Ookwemin Street and onto the Twoson Pier again. Going to the Rebel nightclub, which I don't really go down there. And it is kind of a bummer to deliver down here since there's no other restaurants, but they did tip pretty decent, so that's nice. Anyways, I decided to go offline and check out the Lower Don Trail. The Lower Don Trail, this has been closed for like 5 years, it feels like, probably longer. And I saw a news story saying that it was going to open in a few months, which we've been hearing that for like years now. So my hopes are not that high that it actually opens up, but As I've been going by some of the other bridges, like I have noticed stairs and stuff. Going under Eastern Avenue, there wasn't any stairs there, but on Queen Street, there are stairs that connect to the trail now, which I don't remember this being here before. It could have been, I guess, but I don't know. I'm gonna take a cheeky peek behind this fence. There's other people chilling over here. The trail was not finished, like it's just gravel, which I probably could have rode on if I felt like it, but I don't know, the trail's not open, so who knows what lies ahead. Instead, I decided to bring my bike up the stairs, which they do have these like handy tire tracks that you can use to get your bike up. Felt kind of dangerous though, because it's slippery metal and it's a heavy bike, so glad to not die there. And yeah, rode along Queen Street for a bit. I was thinking, hey, since I'm down here, why not go check out the Value Village on Queen Street? It's been a while since I've been here. Looking at the stuff, they've got Labubu's. It's officially over for Labubu's being cool, guys. They're now just dumped in the Value Village. Yeah, pretty nasty mouse. Got some dead skin on there. And a cute frog lamp. I kind of like that, but 3 AA batteries? F off. So yeah, that's the Value Village. Nothing really impressive in this one. Then I did go online on Uber Eats again. Picked up some Wendy's and some Belly Buster Submarine. Dropping this off east of Kingston Street. It's kind of rare that I go this far east, but oh well, whatever. Kind of neat, I suppose. Then I just went up Woodbine, and there's another Value Village up here, so why not, guys? Pop in and have a look about. You never know what you're gonna find. They did have a Nintendo HDMI cord, but for like $5, it's like, I don't really need an HDMI cord. Or is there $5? Did I say 5 or did I say 10? I don't know, but just looking at the stuff. Sometimes there's some neat things, like a vacuum sealed glass bottle. Honestly, kind of nice. And about a week ago, or not a week, I don't know, a few days ago, I bought a jacket at a thrift store for $4, which I felt like is a pretty good deal. I was curious what Value Village prices their blazers at, and they're all like 18 to like $40. Seemed kind of crazy for a used blazer, but whatever. It is what it is, I guess. I'm just glad that I got my deals. And yeah, went over to Adam and Don's to hang out, doing a casual hanging out, a low-key celebrating Don's birthday, and petting Bento. Yeah, he's still itchy. They're planning on taking him to the vet on Monday or Tuesday. Tyler also came by and he brought a pizza, and I was like, oh, I should probably weigh myself before I eat anything. So weighing in at 194.6, which I labeled as 194.5 because I did take a whiz, and then it turns out my whiz was 0.2 pounds for a whiz. So probably wasn't at my lightest for the day. I don't know if I really ate anything before this, but I've been drinking liquids and stuff, I guess. And yeah, we busted out the birthday crown. And I took Bento out for a quick walk. I was like, I'm kidnapping Bento, guys. Because it's just me on this walk. Well, Adam went and he got a reservation for the Ren. Usually there's a wait, but there wasn't a wait, so I was kind of like, alright, everybody actually come to the Ren right now. So I put Bento away, and I found $20 on the ground. That was kind of lucky. And yeah, I met up with the guys at the Ren, and we ate some stuff. Some classic Adam peace sign freaking out. Yeah. I got the fried chicken burger thing, which It's not keto, but damn, it was good. And when we got back, we did take Bento out for a more full run about the park. Look at him. So happy. He's running around free. So fast, this dog. And it's getting late, so Tyler's heading home. Don did enjoy a birthday cookie that Mark brought over. And we hung out for a while and played some more Mina the Hollower, which has been pretty neat. Again, can't show the footage. We probably could, but whatever. We'll wait for the game to be out for our full thoughts. Yeah, Bento going to bed. It's gotten kind of late now. After midnight, I'm heading out. I figured might as well go on Uber Eats and do some more delivering. Went back down to Queen Street to pick up some Mao's shawarma and bringing that back over to the west. And then I did a couple Raba's deliveries. I guess I forgot to film one, but just shopping and paying for stuff. Happy Burger. It's $26 for a Happy Burger hat. That seems insane. Made me feel better about spending $7 on a Redpath Sugar hat. And yeah, doing some more dropping off. It seems like it's raining a little bit. I was hoping it wouldn't get too bad, but as I was finishing one, it kind of seemed like it was downpouring. And I did the other Rabas here, and I guess the rain died off while I was doing that, so that's nice. Picked up some Grillies and Taco Bell. Kind of hate that Taco Bell because it's so small, but what are you gonna do, I guess? It was late enough that it wasn't like too crowded. And yeah, just going around, picking up, dropping off food, quiches, doubles, and roadies. Yeah. Things are getting pretty sketchy in the east of Yonge Street at night. It's normally not too scary to be around the people of the night, but I don't know, people are getting kind of desperate out here. So yeah, here's my stats for the week. And that Thursdays, that's some back pay for the guaranteed minimum earnings, which was like $20 or something. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.